Russia speaks out on possible arms supply to Iran. The Kremlin has stated that Russia has not received any request from Iran for weapons as tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Moscow has not been approached by Tehran regarding any military assistance. When asked by reporters whether Russia plans to provide material support to Iran, including weapons, Peskov responded, "In this case, we have not received any requests from the Iranian side. Our consistent position is well known, and there have been no changes to it." Last year, Iran and Russia signed a 20-year strategic partnership agreement. Russia is currently building 2 additional nuclear power units at the Bushehr nuclear power plant, which hosts Iran's only nuclear power facility. Meanwhile, Iran has supplied Shahed drones to Russia, which have been used in Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. From the Russian side, Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu also strongly condemned attacks targeting Iran. He described them as an unprecedented disregard for international law. "We are witnessing an unprecedented disregard for the entire system of international law established after World War I and World War II," Shoigu told reporters. Chechen Special Forces commander says he is ready to fight in Iran. The commander of Russia's Akhmat Special Forces, Lieutenant General Apti Alaudanov, has declared that he is ready to transfer all of his weapons to Iran and personally join the fight in support of the Islamic Republic if the Russian leadership makes such a decision. Alaudanov made the statement in a video message posted on his personal Telegram channel. In the message, he said that Iran is facing a very difficult situation and needs support from its allies. "We must give Iran everything we can and support them in every possible way," he said. Alaudanov emphasized that if the Russian authorities issue the appropriate order, he is prepared to immediately travel to Iran and take part in combat operations. According to him, the goal would be to help allies prevent the possibility of a U.S. ground invasion. During the same statement, the Akhmat Special Forces commander also condemned U.S. President Donald Trump for allowing the attack on Iran to take place. He further criticized countries supporting the military campaign against Iran, accusing the United States and its allies of bringing tragedy to the region. Alaudanov also warned that Russia could become the next target after Iran. "If they manage to eliminate Iran now, we will certainly be the next target," he said. In his message, Alaudanov also referred to Western support for Ukraine in its conflict with Russia. He claimed that NATO countries, including the United States, have been supplying weapons to Ukraine for the past 4 years. "For 4 years, our soldiers have been killed by American missiles, American weapons, European weapons, and even Israeli weapons," he said. U.S. officials admit they cannot intercept all Iranian drones. On March 3rd, during a classified briefing to the U.S. Congress, American military officials acknowledged that they cannot guarantee the interception of all drones launched by Iran targeting U.S. and allied military bases in the Middle East. The chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, said that Iran has used thousands of loitering drones in recent attacks. He noted that while the United States is capable of intercepting most incoming threats, it cannot ensure a 100% interception rate. As a result, the U.S. military is focusing on destroying Iran's missile and drone launch sites as quickly as possible. During a press briefing on March 4th, General Kane said that Iran's ballistic missile launches have dropped by 86% compared to the first day of the conflict, and by 23% in the past 24 hours. The number of suicide drones has also decreased by about 73% compared with the early days of the conflict. According to the commander of the U.S. Central Command CENTCOM, General Brad Cooper, Iran has launched more than 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones since the conflict began. A senior U.S. administration official said Iran's strategy appears to be forcing the United States to deplete its advanced interceptor missiles such as Patriot and THAAD systems. However, the official stated that the strategy has not been successful as the U.S. military uses multiple methods to shoot down drones. Nevertheless, several senior Democratic lawmakers expressed concern that the United States may be burning through its interceptor missile stockpiles too quickly. At a Pentagon briefing on March 4th, General Kane insisted that the U.S. military still has sufficient precision weapons for both offensive and defensive operations. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also said that the American arsenal remains very strong and that Iran cannot overwhelm the United States with missiles. Earlier, President Donald Trump wrote on social media that the U.S. stockpile of mid-range weapons is almost unlimited, although he acknowledged that some of the most advanced weapons have not yet reached desired stock levels. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stated that the United States has enough weapons to sustain a prolonged war with Iran. According to ABC News, many experts warn that the conflict is gradually turning into a war of attrition, as interceptor missiles used by the U.S. and its allies are expensive and time-consuming to produce. Kelly Grieco, a researcher at the Stimson Center, said the key question now is, which side will run out of missiles first? If Iran maintains the same launch intensity seen during the first 48 hours of the conflict, for 4 to 5 weeks, the alliance's missile defense systems could face serious pressure. According to CNN, after several days of fighting, at least one U.S. ally in the Gulf region is reportedly running low on interceptor missiles and has requested additional air defense weapons from Washington. However, the United Arab Emirates (UAE) has denied reports suggesting that it is close to running out of interceptor missiles. Iran claims missile strike on U.S. oil tanker in the Persian Gulf. Issues: stark warning to Washington. On March 5th, according to Reuters, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) announced that it had launched a missile attack on a U.S. oil tanker in the northern Persian Gulf, causing the vessel to catch fire. The statement broadcast on Iranian state television said the strike occurred amid escalating military tensions, but did not provide further details about the ship's identity or the extent of the damage. According to the Times of Israel, the incident may be linked to an earlier attack on an oil tanker off the coast of Oman that took place the same day. A report from the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations (UKMTO) said that in the same statement, the IRGC emphasized that navigation through the Strait of Hormuz is now under the control of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The group also declared that the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy shipping routes, is effectively closed to vessels from the United States, Israel, Europe, and their Western allies. According to the IRGC, any ships from these countries or those supporting them entering the area would become potential targets. Also, on March 5th, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned that the United States would regret its actions after an Iranian warship was sunk off the coast of Sri Lanka. Araghchi accused Washington of committing a criminal act at sea. According to him, the Iranian Navy destroyer Dina, carrying nearly 130 sailors, was attacked without warning in international waters more than 3,200 kilometers from Iran's coastline. "Remember my words, the United States will deeply regret the precedent it has created," Araghchi said. Earlier, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed that a U.S. submarine had sunk an Iranian naval frigate in the Indian Ocean on March 2nd. Hegseth said the Iranian vessel was destroyed by a torpedo while operating in international waters. Pentagon leadership noted that this was the first time a warship had been sunk by a torpedo since World War II. Sri Lanka's deputy foreign minister confirmed that the ship sunk was the Iranian destroyer Iris Dina. The vessel was reportedly on its way back to Iran after departing a port in eastern India. Authorities in the Sri Lankan port city of Galle said rescue teams recovered 87 bodies of sailors after receiving distress signals from the ship. In addition, 32 sailors have been rescued and are currently receiving treatment in hospitals. Around 60 people out of the total 180 crew members remain missing. Sri Lanka said it has launched a large-scale search and rescue operation to find survivors. Before the attack, the Dina had participated in a naval exercise organized by India in the Bay of Bengal from February 18th to 25th. According to Al Jazeera, the Iranian vessel was a Moj-class guided missile frigate domestically built in Bandar Abbas and commissioned in 2021.